Many people realize that when you've been through trauma, it lives within your body as physical symptoms as well as emotional symptoms. So the physical symptoms can be dizziness, can be problems with your gut, can be headaches. It can really, really mess with your system and make you believe that you are really unwell. Um, when I was going through my trauma, I was convinced I was unwell at the end of it, but it was just the unprocessed trauma. Once I had relived a particular memory from the trauma in a therapeutic practice that my wonderful therapist took me through, it felt like for the first time I could breathe because my chest had been so tight from living in the flight or fright situation for too long.
Thank you very much, Eric, for being here, my friend. Thank you for all the love, all the support. And I'm down with what you just said. Loving it in the chat. I love these kind of victories, these experiences. Getting them all here on NATV Network. It's all about the guests. It's all about the audience. It's never about the host of the show. Time for Jemma TV, everybody, right here on NATV Network. The home of live streaming mental health for the new generation. At some point, we're going to bring the host of the show in. I know the host of the show is out there somewhere. Jemma TV is right here on NATV Network. Jemma, I know you're out there somewhere.
Hello.
There she is. 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 All right. All right, everybody. low caliber show, high quality guests, high caliber guests on NATV Network. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate you coming back to our show to talk with our audience. What do you got for us today? Something about the central nervous system and a whole lot more in regards to trauma, from trauma to triumph?
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to be talking all things central nervous system and making those small alterations to give us something to look forward to daily as we recover from trauma.
Perfect. What do you got?
So, first of all, when you talk about the central nervous system, it's like a switch in our brains, which either goes on or off. So when the switch is turned on, we're stuck in that flight or fright situation. We're typically full of anxiety and stress and not knowing what to do, which is so common after trauma. But when it's stuck in the off position, that's when we get depression. That's when we feel disconnected from the things that we should feel enthusiastic about. And we should feel as though we are super connected, but we don't. So a lot of the time when people talk about trauma, they talk about it as though it's linked to mental health, but it's something that happens after something happens to us. That's when we experience the physical symptoms and the mental health symptoms as well. So yeah, and then that can all lead to CPTSD and PTSD as well. Although CPTSD is more commonly found after somebody has experienced trauma that's gone on for such a long amount of time. And still more people focus on PTSD and less on CPTSD, which, when you think about it, is kind of mad and kind of weird because CPTSD is such a more complex version of PTSD. You get it.
I think I need more alphabets. Go ahead.
I know. But yeah, so that's typically what happens to us when we go through trauma. And it's still yet relatively unknown how to treat. The only thing is, at the moment, that's available is to either go to therapy, take antidepressants, all that kind of good stuff. But for me, as a life coach, I like to guide, I like to keep people accountable, and I like to feel as though people have made an achievement at the end of each day, whether it's a small step or a big step. But today we're going to be focusing on the small steps because, hey, they're easier, right?
Absolutely. Hey, you're getting some love on the screen there from our regular member of the channel, Eric. Eric says it might it might be a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a little girl or a woman, taken from a very famous song here in the States. Fridays are super cool, and the British women got some incredible wit. Ooh, you're getting some love there, my friend, from Eric. In fact, they inspire every day. This is from the last show that I'm going to give him right now, which is cheering. Thank you for being here for the last show, Eric. And this is right now. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Eric Jackson, giving some love to Jemma TV right now. Jemma Blythe, you got some love there from way over here on the other side of the pond.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Hey, let's give him one of these two. All right. Oh, man. All right. More love for you. Up on the screen. Jemma is super sweet. I can tell. Okay. You're right on that one for sure. Without a doubt. She's very sweet and has a really good heart. and she's ready to share some more information as soon as I shut up. So the floor is all yours again, Madame.
Thank you so much. So when we talk about regulating the central nervous system, we can do so many small things each day which completely change the way that we reframe our mind. Whether that's taking an ice bath first thing, I know it's mad, it's cold, I get it, but it works. I can't explain how much it works, but it does. Because it boosts the natural dopamine that we all crave inside of us. The more we boost that dopamine, the more our central nervous system regulates, which means that it's neither on nor off. It's in that lovely neutral position, which is what we need. So those small things can be as little as washing your hair, doing a face mask, taking a shower, walking in fresh air even can do it. But it's just those times that you get to yourself to be able to think and be able to feel like you are present. You are taking notice of the good things that surround you, which who doesn't want to do that, right? What small things can you do in your life today which change the way that you look at things? Think about that. Your day can change in as little as 1 second. So when you, for example, wash your hair, think about that as it's washing away the negativity that you've been through. Take yourself into almost a meditative state, as it can completely make you relax, make your brain switch off. I mean, I've got ADHD, so my brain never completely switches off.
That's a good thing. You're
Is
saving the planet. You're saving somebody because your brain hasn't switched off.
That's true. When it comes to this work, oh my God, it is so useful. Because all it wants to do is just soak up more information, which, hey, I like. But yeah, so when we use our brains in that way, it reframes things, and soaking up information has been a lifeline for me. And it can be a lifeline for everybody. It doesn't have to be dull or boring, just so long as you get something out of it. But yeah, so taking those moments, improving yourself step by step. Think about it as you are climbing a steep incline. So when you've been through trauma, quite often you start at the bottom without really realizing it. But if you take those small little steps each day, you can improve so much quicker than if you didn't take any steps at all. Think about the small picture, not the bigger picture all the time. As humans, it can be really difficult to think about the small picture. We are trained naturally, whether it's through school, through university, to think about the end goal. But if you think about the short term, as in, what can I do today? What can I do this week? And then you can think about building on top of that. It's about building those blocks, building those steps, and getting to where you want to be, which is something else I talk about in more depth with valuable content on my channel too. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. Okay, some other things I want to mention to you is when you've been through trauma, quite often you carry a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. That's completely normal. All of us do it when we've been through trauma because we think, oh, well, we can't have been that stupid to fall for it or whatever. End that. Completely cut that off. Surround yourself with people you know that you can trust, whether that's through a support network, whether that's family or friends, whether that's people that you encounter, whether that's a therapist or a life coach. They're there to guide you. People who are there to support shouldn't judge, shouldn't dictate. They should be willing to listen. So it's important and it's crucial to surround yourself with what I call the support circle, not the support network. Support network just sounds too blooming formal for my liking. So keep it to the support circle because, hey, who doesn't like circles? And another thing to remember that when you've been through trauma is you don't belong to the people who abused you. You belong to yourself. So do the self-care. Don't feel guilty about sharing because quite often you feel like you've been shut into a cupboard. I know I did. I was terrified when I first started talking about my experiences. But when you realize that you are your own person, life changes completely. You don't feel that you're cut off anymore. You don't feel as though you're carrying this big weight on you anymore. You don't hold any of that. That can go. But it's all about improving yourself step by step, minute by minute. Just go as slow as you want because healing has no time frame. You can't be made to heal. Healing is your own decision to go at your own pace with your own accountability. And that's what I do. I help people go step by step, little by little, because you can't go giant leap to giant leap. If you do, there's more of a chance of you going backwards. Nobody wants that. You want to go forwards. Thanks. So keep that in your mind today when you're working and just think little by little, step by step. Nobody's recovery is linear. Nobody's recovery is perfect. We all compare recovery from one person to another, but the sooner we stop the comparison and start embracing how far we've come, the better. And another thing that you need to bear in mind is that when you share, it creates connection. Connection is valuable. Connection can help you achieve so many great things. I mean, when I started sharing on social media, I started helping so many people. And that's how it started for me. I didn't realize people would want to think or listen to what I had to say. But yeah, it's good. Eric, I completely agree with that. That's amazing. Brain reprogramming is completely crucial. So true. And that's why it's so important to regulate our emotions, take stock of our emotions, whether that's minute by minute or hour by hour. Know what you've been through is valid. Know what you've been through is true for you, and use that information. Use your thoughts. Reprogram your thoughts. Make sure that your thoughts are positive for you and help you get to where you want to be. There were days when I was struggling way back with anxiety, and my therapist asked me to complete a therapy journal, well, an anxiety journal. And I had to note down where my thoughts were each and every time. So, and then I looked back on this not that long ago, and I noticed that it was the smallest thing that used to get me so anxious and so worked up. But when I started changing those things into a positive, things just happened for me. They can happen for you too. You just need to take notice of where your brain is going each and every day, and don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel as though you've got to compare yourself to others. Helping people is such an important step. It was a huge part of my recovery. Being able and feeling able to help others was unimaginable for me. Completely unimaginable. But it all started with connection and building up that reputation and that knowledge that I love soaking up so much. It helped. So there's one thing that I would love for you to do this week. I would like you to look at your plan for the week ahead and plan different things for you to look forward to over the week ahead. I know over in America, for those of you over there, that you've got Thanksgiving coming up, and that must be absolutely amazing. But try and plan little things each day to give you something to look forward to, something for you to focus on. Because when I started doing that, things changed so much. So whether it was my best friend coming round on a Saturday, whether it was Pilates middle of the week, I even got excited over exercise, which I didn't think was possible. But it worked. Thanks, Eric. I would love to hug my therapist too. Trust me. But yeah, things change so quickly. And that's one thing to really focus on when you go through trauma. It doesn't have to define you. Trauma, yes, it's something awful, terrible, whatever that happens. But it doesn't have to define you. It doesn't need to define you. You have this whole amount of attitude. Once you accept the positivity, once you start changing those little things and start recognizing when your central nervous system is stuck in the on position or the off position. Because when you go through trauma, that neutral position seems so difficult to get to. But take it step by step. Take it from me, take it from somebody that's been there. Step by step works so much better. And just improving yourself that 1% each day, it doesn't have to be a massive percentage each day. If you manage journaling for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just taking yourself away for that amount of time can change yourself so much. So all of that can explain why people experience CPTSD and PTSD. It can explain why people go through anxiety and depression. All those are common responses when it comes to trauma, but it's how we treat ourselves and how we compose ourselves around other people. That's what matters. That's what creates connection. It's just all about embracing yourself, knowing that trauma does not define you, and knowing that you can regulate your nervous system and that you can take complete control of your life after trauma and take comparison out of the equation. So make sure that you head over to my YouTube channel. In the next couple of weeks, I will be adding more videos and more explanations to the central nervous system, trauma, and how to go from trauma to triumph. So make sure you catch me over there.
I think you have a fan club now. When you come over visit me at my house over here, NATV Network. Eric's got something for you on the screen.
Thank you so much, Eric.
He says, so encouraging, absolutely beautiful, Jemma. Affirmations all around me, and it works. It really, truly does. My goodness, look at you. Just everybody, please, if you're following us, subscribing, I should say, if you're subscribing to our channel, please show some loyalty to Jemma and the content she put together to come share with you today by subscribing to her YouTube channel. Eric, please, if you get a chance to do so, tell some friends, please share her channel out with everybody. Jemma, tell them how they can get to your channel. What's your channel name again?
It's at Living Imperfectly Perfect.
I don't know if you're in a position to type it into the chat. If you can, if not, I'll take care of it. You'll find it, everybody, in the description for this particular video. Man, that was juicy. I've got so much to try to unpack there. If you want more of this information, you can get it unpacked on Jemma TV, on Jemma's channel. You can go ahead and do that. This is not the end of our streaming today, our live streaming Fridays. Many of you have asked us to do it, similar to what we used to do on Instagram, and we have reinstituted it over the past week or maybe two, and we're back to doing it again. We are going to be doing a number of different things. When I say we, NATV is looking to do a few things for you over the next few weeks. You will make it a point to stick with the channel, and you'll get that information and you'll see it. We want you to end the year on a high mental health note. Again, this is mental health for the new generation. And we appreciate all of your suggestions, the ones we've implemented and the ones that we haven't. We have not forgot them. We're taking a close look at them. Everything we do here on our channel is research first before we do anything. And yeah, we researched Jemma, and she's a perfect fit. You've been a perfect fit for our audience. Eric is truly benefiting from you, and he's got more for you, Jemma. Jemma, would you like to read this? I'm going to put it on the screen. You can read it out for those who are listening. There it is.
Eric says, Jemma, one day I will make it to the UK. Some of the world's greatest collection of art are there, and I'm looking for a masterpiece. Speaking of which, you are doing wonderful work, Jemma. Sincerely. Thank you so much, Eric. That means a lot. And I am so pleased that you got value out of today. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you all.
This is NATV Network. For those of you first time passing through, this is where what we've been doing from the first day we came on, showcasing individuals that are making the planet a better place. You're leaving me speechless, Jemma. Beautiful job, great takeover of NATV today. She's working on some other things. You have to go by and check out her channel. You have a course. You have something else. I'm sorry. There is something else. I'm not faking it, you guys. I really just went blank. It's a course. You got a book coming or no? Correct me. Just tell me. I literally went blank. Go ahead.
I have a course called Unveiling Your Authentic Self.
Yeah.
I also have a book coming in 2025 called Perfectionist Rebel.
Got it. Love it. Love it. I knew it was a book. I started getting people mixed up as to what what they have out there to help the public, and I was gonna say a book, but I wasn't really sure, and I don't mind me, you guys. I'm just waking up here off the coast of California, across the pond. We have reached across the pond, and Jemma has came to the rescue. What does he got here? Congrats, multimedia darling. Okay, I like that. There you go. That's a name for you. Multimedia darling was hey man, you should get into marketing, Eric. That was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That was pretty good. Multimedia darling. I am so going to steal that. I love the way it rolls off my tongue saying it about you,
really
Jemma.
Does.
That's pretty good. You may have to get a T-shirt that says that, or put that in your bio. Multimedia darling. I like that, man. Way to go, Eric. I like that. Okay, so Jemma, I'm looking forward to you being a part of some of the things we're going to do over the next few weeks. Some big shindig stuff happening. Eric is getting a kick out of what we were just talking about. But thank you, Eric, for being here. Thank you, all of you who got a chance to be here. I'm going to play something on the way out, and then we're going to do a quick switcheroo, and then Crystal's going to be coming in, and then we'll have to see what happens after that. Jemma, you will forever have a chair with us here on NATV Network. If you get really bored, it's nighttime. It's like 8, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I can't remember what it is right now. You're 8 hours ahead.
7 o'clock over here at the moment.
Over here. So in about another, where are we right now? It's 11 o'clock. So in about another hour and a half, we're going to have Crystal here, and we're going to be talking about the inner child. The inner child work is what we're going to be looking at. Right now, I have a couple of things I want to ask you before we go, though.
Of course you do.
She had no idea. Wait. Ooh, you know how this thing works, don't you? You know how it goes, don't it, little missy? Already. That's my Western impersonation for you in the UK. So here we go. Jemma, if you had to describe, you sure you're ready for this?
Go on. Hit me with it.
So if you had to describe the top 4 qualities, that would make a man worthwhile to be in a relationship with, the top 4 qualities that a man should have that would make him a great catch, as it were, the expression goes. What are 4 things that you could lay out there for the ladies out there and for the men out there? What 4 qualities would you say?
Ambition, vulnerability, caring, And I'm going to say sensitive as well. There you go.
Wow. Sound like you gave some serious thought to these before I even asked the question.
I did.
Yeah. Now, what would you say to taking the time right now to put these in a numerical order from your perspective? Ambition, vulnerability. Is that what you said, right?
Yeah.
Caring and
Yeah.
sensitive. Let's put a number to it.
Okay.
Which one would be first, second, third, fourth? What do you say?
I would say sensitivity would be my number one. Their ambition would be number two. Caring would be number three. And sensitivity number four.
Sensitivity you had as number one also. You
Vulnerability.
Okay, vulnerability is number four.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I say this right. Chat, if I say it wrong, or Jemma, correct me if I say it wrong. So sensitivity would be number one. Ambition would be number two.
Yeah.
Caring would be number three.
Yeah.
And vulnerability would be number four.
Yeah.
Here's the second follow-up question. So I asked you the question. You gave us a list. We put them in order. That was the second thing. First follow-up question. Now here's the second follow-up question. Now go with me on this. Here we go. Give me an example of number one. We're going to go through each one and lay out for the ladies, lay out for some young woman, or just for the guys. Number one is sensitivity. Give us an example, a real life example, or one that you can think of, so someone can get a visual of what does it mean in your perspective when a man is sensitive.
When they are willing to listen to whatever their partner is going through, whether that be personal between them, whether it's something that happened with them at work. It's somebody that doesn't mind being in connection with their sensitive side.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And connecting emotionally.
Okay. Connecting emotionally for sure, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to an example, real life, or one that you lay out for everybody here, give us an example of a man being ambitious. Ambitious. Look at me. I can't speak this morning. Okay. A man with ambition.
So it's someone who knows where they want to go when it comes to career, when it comes to everyday life, when somebody's basically got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask them outright, so what is it that you want to do within the next 5 years or month? Something like that. Something so then they've got something to work towards is important.
Awesome. He's got to be a builder. He's got to be Bob the Builder. He's got to be building something. Exactly. I like that. He's got to have a plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, ladies, just for the record, as I told my son and I say to my daughters, a man is no good if he doesn't know where he's going. If he don't know where he's going, of what purpose is he? Because you can take out your own trash and kill a spider yourself. All right. So number three is caring. Give us an example, real life or not, of what it means that a man is caring.
Again, when they connect empathy and show empathy to a woman, whether that's caring for them after they've had really bad news, whether that's celebrating with them after they've got good news. I mean, there's nothing worse than getting good news through and getting almost a brick wall response. Nobody wants that.
Love it. Almost like talking to a wall, huh? If that's the case. Yeah. All right. Number four was a man being vulnerable, or vulnerability. So when it comes to a man being vulnerable, an example, real life or not, What do you got for us?
When they're not afraid to speak their truth, when they don't have a massive wall up in front of them, when you know that they've been through something and they're not being open, but they expect you to be open in return. No, that needs to work both ways. So vulnerability is so important. And it helps with connection too.
Ties right back into number one again.
Yeah.
Ties right back in. It is very difficult for a relationship to exist when it's one-sided vulnerability or no vulnerability.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work in business, whether it's work, whether it's a long-term relationship, whatever it may be.
Exactly.
Vulnerability is being honest.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is technically honesty. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look up the definition. And look up the synonyms and antonyms. It would blow your mind. So when someone says, hey, it's hard for me to be vulnerable, they're really just pull that word out and stick the word honest in. It's hard for me to be honest. Essentially, they're saying with myself. And what kind of life is that when we can't be honest with ourselves? Whether
Exactly.
it's male or female. I love these. These are absolutely perfect. So people often wonder, how does he have all these show notes? It's really the last 10 minutes of every show is where I really take show notes. And it's amazing what we learn about each other, one another, when I do these shows and when people have shows. If it's the last 10 minutes right before somebody is leaving, is when they are really the most vulnerable. Because when people normally come on, they're on a mission. But once the mission is complete, it's amazing how much honesty comes out. And I thank you so much for doing this. This is going to help somebody. It's not going to help Eric, because Eric says he's planning on becoming a monk based upon what he has on in the chat. What chat has in the chat. Oh, by the way, if you've never been on YouTube and hear me say chat, or you hear it on other channels, it's because that's what we call everyone collectively, whoever is there in the chat or whoever gets into the chat after the show is posted. So thank you, Eric. Eric says, well, I ain't looking for no man. I love the way you talk, brother man. Okay. So, well, I ain't looking for no man, so I stay silent. However, when I find myself, I will probably be a monk living in a cave next to a fire or something. That's one way to treasure your singleness and to stay away from toxic behavior, as the first show talked about. Today, we got a pretty good buffet of information covering the central nervous system. And I love the recap that you did, that you brought points home for everybody here. They can get your newsletter. Everybody can check out her newsletter, please. Everyone that's a part of our channel, viewers, subscribers, and members, you can join Jemma's free Facebook group, which is called Living Imperfectly Perfect Trauma Recovery. Living Imperfectly Perfect Trauma Recovery. If you'd like to get a slice of what Jemma's getting right now, you have a YouTube channel, you want to get a YouTube channel, you want to talk to our audience and help them, and then just pull them over to your neighborhood, to your part of town, make sure you reach out and talk to me. Become a member of the channel, $5.99, and we'll do the same as we're doing with Jemma right now. We'll get you situated, because our audience is constantly looking for individuals to help them in their personal development. So thank you for being a part of our personal development television here, Personal Development TV, NATV network. Jemma, enjoy your evening. And if you're really bored, just jump into the chat on our next show, or I'll send you a link. Not that you don't have to feel entitled to do any of that. I'm letting you know. I really enjoyed today. I hate to let you go, but I know we're 8 hours there, about something like that apart. This was really good, Jemma. Really good, Jemma. Really, really, really good. Like a
Thank you so much for having me.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys later. I'm going to move some things around. Jemma, I'll talk to you whenever I talk to you, or if you hang around. Say goodbye to everybody, and then I'm going to put something up.
Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. hopefully I will speak to you again soon.
That was good. Y'all know that was good. We are not your conventional place to discuss mental health, narcissism, healthy relationships, recovery, restoration, transformation. Recovery, restoration, transformation. We are NATV Network. Let's see what I got here. Jemma. Man. Jemma TV just happened on NATV Network. That was awesome. Awesomely good. Let me move some things around here. Join our channel, of course. Look forward to you doing that. If you join our channel at $5.99, we will have you as a guest on the show. We will make a podcast show for you and all the above. We want you to share your story or share your course, your book, whatever it may be. You can do that. I think I did everything that I needed to do here. And we're going to get ready for Crystal to come next. If you are on LinkedIn for Jemma, I'm saying hi to you. And if you're on her YouTube channel and you're watching it, I'm saying hi to you. This is NATV Network. Thank you for coming in to our mental health posse. Thank you for joining us. We wrangle up everything bad and we keep the good. We keep the good. So time for me to put a video up. Let me move some things around. We do that. Thank you, Jemma. Awesome. Beautiful. Oh, okay. I guess it's time to go. I don't want to go, but I got to get ready. Crystal's coming.
Many people realize that when you've been through trauma, it lives within your body as physical symptoms as well as emotional symptoms. So the physical symptoms can be dizziness, can be problems with your gut, can be headaches. It can really, really mess with your system and make you believe that you are really unwell. When I was going through my trauma, I was convinced I was unwell at the end of it, but it was just the unprocessed trauma. Once I had relived a particular memory from the trauma in a therapeutic practice that my wonderful therapist took me through, it felt like for the first time I could breathe because my chest had been so tight from living in the flight or fright situation for too long.